we should be able to use
expression
and
fluency.
Right, because who does that? Who uses who uses fluency and expression? And why you?
Good readers.
Good job. Awesome. That's it. Yes.
The thing I like best about Camp Read a Lot is that I get to read poems and start plays and get to learn stuff.
We call our reading clinic Camp Read a Lot. It's a summer program for struggling readers, primarily, who are referred to us from the local public and parochial schools in our area. It's part of our master's degree program in reading at the university. Our teachers are college students, grad students who are working on their master's degree, and this gives them a chance to actually put into practice the skills, the strategies, the theories that we talk about in our various courses at a graduate level. So it's a great opportunity for our students at the university, but it's also a great opportunity for the children who come to us to get 5 weeks of additional tutoring instruction to help them maintain the skills that they learned during the school year over the summer, and even to perhaps advance their progress in reading.
We've been doing this program for quite a number of years, and the students make great progress during the time. One of the things we worry about is summer setback. We know that students go backwards instead of forward sometimes, and so we look at success as if they are able to maintain their gains. But what we're finding is not only do they maintain their gains, they're able to actually make progress. Sometimes it's just a few weeks progress, sometimes it's semester progress, but oftentimes they actually make a year's progress or more, and we consider that a great success when that happens.
What's our word? Ran. Your first clue. Past tense of run. We're going to take away the first letter of grand and the last letter. What's left in the middle of there? Absolutely. Can you write those on that line for me? That was awesome. A male sheep. And we're going to change the last letter. So we're looking at the last letter and we're going to change it. Another clue, because I see only one hand. Second clue, because words can have more than one meaning, can't they? To roughly force something into place. So you can kind of into a door.
You're changing the last.
Oh, you are so smart. Come up here, sir. Yep, absolutely, sir. He said he knows it because of the football team, so he made a connection. Big word here, an incline to join two levels. Another clue is a wheelchair. Sometimes a wheelchair has to go up, we're going to add a consonant to the end. It's starting with ram. What do you think it is?
Ram.
You're so right on there.
One of the things we do at the very beginning of the reading clinic is we do an attitude and interest survey with our students, and we try to find out what exactly do they feel about reading. Do they like reading? Have they been exposed to a lot of books? Do they have a lot of books at home? When they read in school, how do they feel? Do they like being asked to read by their teacher? Would they prefer to read silently? Do they like to read with a friend? And once we have that information, we can really we know their interests, so we will build activities based on their interests to try to get them to see the fun in reading. If they enjoy it, we know they'll do a lot more of it.
What I really like about Camp Read a Lot is you get to read poems, and you get to say them out loud and do plays, and and the teachers are really fun.
One of the reasons for our kids' remarkable success, I think, is the incorporation of our fluency development lesson in the reading clinic. It's what we call our core lesson. It's a 20-minute, 25-minute lesson based upon basic principles that we know work in the area of fluency, word recognition, comprehension. It's a daily text that students use. It's usually a poem, but it could also be a song lyric, a reader's theater script, or even a selection out of a book that they may be reading. What they do is the teacher models the text for them, reads it to them. They read it together as a group. They practice with a partner, and eventually they will perform it for their classmates, for the teacher, for parents. And then after that, we engage the students in word study, where they will be taking some of the words from the poem or whatever text they're reading and analyze it, looking for word families, building new words from the letters within that chosen word or two, putting the word on the word wall, and then practicing the words throughout the day and even into subsequent days. It's a daily lesson, and so you can see where this kind of practice, repeated practice of a text that children find interesting and engaging, will build from day to day their skills in reading. And I think that's one of the reasons why we see such good progress.
One of the real joys that I've seen kids have at Camp Read a Lot has been with the Reader's Theater, or the performance of poetry. And I understand how in a classroom we are tied to standards, we are pushed to get a lot of things done in a short amount of time. But I think that one thing that teachers sometimes don't realize is that when you're doing Reader's Theater or a poetry, oral reading, you're building so many things. You're not just doing fluency, which of course is valuable in itself, but you're also building comprehension, you're building word skills, and you're building confidence in students that maybe have never had that before. And that's a huge plus when we're talking about children's success in reading and learning.
I think that in poetry form, even if it has some more difficult words, they're really able to pull things out of context, and because it isn't necessarily long, they're able to really focus in on whatever word is more challenging, and they're able to kind of, through context clues, figure it out and learn awesome new words that way, and they just have so much fun learning that they don't even realize that they're learning a new vocabulary word.
Well, the importance of the Reader's Theater and poetry, I think, especially for my three, it's built their confidence so much more. You know, they came in shy and quiet, as you would expect, you know, to something new, but as we've practiced and practiced, you know, they're coming out of their shell, and like I said, the expression is just skyrocketed off. You know, we've been able to focus on, you know, where you take breaks when you're reading, you know, and different patterns and things as well along the way. But it's done in, you know, a fun way that they're really enjoying it and getting to have some fun with it.
Ooh, I like it. That was a good idea. That's one we haven't tried yet.
Even Muffy looked eager when she pulled up in her limousine.
Where do I plug in my air conditioner?
The boys' counselor, Rocky, was a different story.
Attention, man. Line up, stand up straight, suck on those guts. No dessert for you men this summer.
Muffy had brought her own snack. After a dinner that tasted like macaroni and fleas and worm burgers, she opened her trunk. The girls dug in. At bedtime, Muffy discovered the tent had no electricity.
How will I brush my teeth?
The boys were too tired from all their running and push-ups to even think of brushing their teeth. They crawled under the covers. Arthur screamed, "Ah!"
Who lives in the Grand Castle?
No one has lived there for many years.
Why not?
Because of what happens on Halloween.
What could be so scary?
They say it's haunted. Brave men have tried to stay there, but they all run away after a few hours. No one will ever talk about what happened, and most of us don't want to know. We just stay away, especially this time of year.
What about the owner? What does he have to say about this?
You know, the parents just seem really excited that their students are here every day, and I just heard so many comments about how they love to come and what are you guys doing in there that's so much fun, you know? And I think that they know that they're learning because each day they're taking home a poem and they're able to read it, and it's just incredible that the families are able to see every day something new that their child can read.
About the third week into the program, we were on the way here to school, and Kevin says to me, "Mom, I really don't think I'm learning anything at all in this reading camp." And I said, "Really? And why is that?" And he said, "Because we just go and just have fun. I really don't think we're learning anything." And I said, "Okay." So it was. I knew what he meant by that. I know he's learning, but it's great because they put a positive spin, and it makes it fun, and it makes them want to come and do it and participate, and they look forward to coming. So.
I see his reading fluency. I see his interest peaking. He's asking more higher level questions about things. He's just enjoying it all around.
I think we all recognize that the teaching of reading is a science. We've learned that over the past 10 years with the National Reading Panel and other researchers who have told us so that we have to address teaching reading as a science, and I think we are in our reading clinic. But I think we also need to recognize that teaching reading is an art. The best teachers I know are artists and scientists, and I think that that's what you'll see in our program in Camp Read a Lot. Teachers who are not just scientists but also artists, and they bring the joy of reading into the classroom. I think we're not only developing readers, but we're also developing lifelong readers, children who 5, 10, 15 years from now see value in the activity and will find themselves reading for the rest of their lives. As Mark Twain once said, what good is it to read if you choose not to? And I think sometimes that's what happens in our rigid, overly scripted programs for teaching reading. We may teach kids to read, but the unintended consequence is children learn to dislike reading and avoid reading. I don't think you'll see that in our program here.
I think I'm a better reader now.
Okay.
Ready?
Everywhere